true surviving.
Hey guys, welcome back. Look what we're working on today, or kind of a little bit this week in the evenings. Old Marge, and as you can see, we've already started. We probably should have started filming a bit earlier, but you know, we were kind of excited to get stuck into her a bit. What we've decided to do is pull a lot of this front sheet metal off, because it's had a bit of an incident sometime in its checkered history, and you know, it's had some issues. You can kind of see on the front fender here. You know, there's the little screw holes there where someone's used a slide hammer on it, and when we took the stainless trim off the eyebrow here, there's just a ton of holes here. So that's a bit of a mess, and you know, there's just little dings and nicks and things going on. But yeah, the bumper is over there. That's in pretty good shape. These valances, this lower valance, really took a pounding at some point. You can kind of see it's really flat here. Underneath here, it's really flattened. And the whole front of the car kind of had a bit of a hair lip. It was tweaked up on this corner, where the grille wraps around here. It was all tweaked up. So we've been working on straightening that out. Just want to give her a facelift, I guess you could say, because I've got a new grille section, this driver's side part of the grille. You know, poor old Marge got a punch in the face from something, so we've got a new one of these, or a second-hand one coming, which was a nice little find on eBay. You know, $100 and we get that replaced rather than trying to straighten it. So yeah, there was multiple stuff that was bent. We got this is the headlight base, which if you look along there, that should be dead flat, and that goes in the left front headlight there. So as you can imagine, this headlight unit was just blinding the earthworms at night time. You know, it was just pointing down at the ground. So we'll get that straightened out and just, yeah, put it back how she should be. She really didn't look that bad before until you look close, and when you look close, it's like, you know, things were here and things were there, and so many of the brackets on all this front sheet metal. This is the upper guard that goes, obviously this fits up kind of here, and then your bumper goes in the middle there. But you know, if you check out these, that's one of the brackets that should be attached but fell off. Look at these brackets. Like, this is what we're dealing with. The bends in here, it's popped off here. That should be attached, but as that's folded up, it's pulled it that way. We kind of got a bend here on the side. It's pretty good in the middle, but this bracket's all bent up. Yeah, so we're just, you know, the plan is just to get all this straightened up so that stuff goes back together, and we'll refit it all back together, and you know, adjust it, do what we need to get it so it's sitting right, you know, so that one day when we do paint it, if we paint it, you know, it's ready to go, and it doesn't look like it's been, it looks to me a little like it's been kind of driven down through a ditch and it's just squashed that front up, and it's just tweaked the bumper ever so slightly, but you know, that wraparound grille on that passenger side was tweaked up. And so yeah, we're just trying to get all that straightened out, and while we're kind of doing that, you can see there's some stuff missing here. There's normally a big heater box goes on the firewall there, so we pulled that out really in a little bit of exploratory surgery, shall we say, because I want to put AC in this car. I want to make it nice to drive and pleasant. So we're just kind of seeing, we pulled all that out. We've got a vintage air unit there that doesn't quite fit, but we're kind of coming up with some ideas of how we can make everything work. And this will come as the videos come for this old girl. You know, using these cars come with a push button control for the heating system, as it didn't have AC, but I would need to convert those push buttons, which are there's 5 of them, 5 buttons. 2 are electric and 3 are vacuum operated. So we've got to make those work with the vintage air or whatever brand AC we use. So we're just kind of having a look at that, and yeah, just a little bit of love for the old girl. And then very soon the engine's coming out, transmission's coming out. I've got a second transmission, so we're sending 2 transmissions off with the theory of getting one back. And the engine is going away to get stroked. It's definitely staying through, you know, the poly, the original old part of Marge is staying. So it's going to be out around 390 to 400 cubic inch depending on the overbore we need. But yeah, it's going to get the 4-inch stroker LA crank, the twin factory 4 barrels, twin factory look air cleaners, and time we get all that in there, it's going to be quite nice, I think. We're probably going to dive in and take the fenders off. We really need to get this core support out, because that's one of the problems with pulling a car apart. You start seeing things that you couldn't see before, but we got some issues down here on the core support that's rusted through here, and that's sand getting down in here. This was full of sand. There's sand everywhere on this car from being in the desert, and it's also rusted through on the back side as well. So this is quite a structural, this core support is what holds all this up. So, we can't just leave that rust there. That's got to be fixed and fixed properly, because that's what all your front fenders and everything hang off. So we're going to pull the fenders off, pull the core support, do whatever body work we need to this whole front clip. While that's out, we'll pluck the engine, because it's going to be nice and easy, and we'll probably reassemble the front sheet metal, with a view to taking it off again when the engine goes back in. So we'll just make sure everything's fitting, because there's some areas on these fenders that you just can't get to. Like it's got, whether you'll be able to see it, but like down here it's got a really deep gouge here in the bottom of the fender, and you just can't get in to address that, and that's a wound, that needs fixing. So we'll take the fender off, we can straighten that out. So that's the Marge update. So she's going to be off the road for a little while, because the engine rebuilders seem to be taking about 3 months at the moment. So yeah, that kind of rules summer out for me for driving her, but there's kind of a no time like the present. Is like, let's get going on this. The transmission's not great, the engine's not great. It's done a wonderful job for us getting us all the way back from San Diego, but it needs a bit of love. So let's just do all that. We can get the engine back. That gives us winter to kind of get the I's dotted and the T's crossed, get the AC in, all that sort of stuff, and then next summer we'll be cruising. Alright guys, well that's probably about it for now. I will try and keep the camera going as we're pulling fenders off and stuff like that, and keep the updates coming on this old girl. But for now, that's where we're at. So we're going to get to work. We'll probably throw the camera on again, but that will be the end of this video, and see you on the next one. Take care.